And we are on. Welcome to episode 3 of Lost in Immersion, your weekly 45-minute stream about innovation. As VR and AR veterans, we will discuss the latest news of the immersive industry. So let's go, Fabien, as usual.
Thanks. So today I want to talk about two displays that are not available yet, and my bet is they will not be available until a while, but they are quite interesting. So currently, most of the display for VR or mixed reality, it's like a lens that is really in front of your eyes, and there are so two kind of uh, not so new but still in development displays, which are um, directly projecting something on the eye. So that's one. And there are a few companies that are doing that. For example, Lark Optics, which was in the news last week because they had some investment and some innovation around that. And also something even more integrated, which is like a contact lens will go on the eyes. And so there are many technical challenges. The first one is more is easier, a bit more mature, and the next one, the contact lens, is still they have a lot of technical challenges about the display itself, the power, how to transmit data to the display, and so on. So my guess that it will not come until like quite a while. So yeah, I was curious to discuss that with you. And also to one note that I have is Lark Optics business model is quite interesting. Is they are positioning themselves as a display provider. It's not a headset provider. They will not do like a full complete headset. They will just be a display provider that other headset manufacturer can use. So I thought it was quite an interesting business placement. So yeah, we can discuss that a bit. And I'm curious to know if you think it's how it's useful and how likely it is to be that we see that in the next couple of years or 5-10 years.
Seb?
Myself, I'm not in a hurry for that technology to become available. Lenses quite scares me in terms of technology. When you see Black Mirror movies or TV shows, series, there is a couple of ones that talk about having a lens with data that directly displayed in front of the eyes of the user. That requires a lot of control for the user, I think. Even mind control. So I think we are, yeah, like you said, far from even having something working from that. There is a screen that will come, but then it will miss the fact that you need a good position of the head in the space according to the environment to display something interesting. And adding the camera inside the lenses and stuff like that, yeah, that's a whole other level that they need to achieve before having something really usable, I think. In the first time, I think it will be displayed like the Google Glass, something that stays at one place on your retina all the time. I'm not sure that will be enjoyable for the user to have something like displayed always at the same position. When you do this kind of test in the HoloLens, for example, following the eyes of the user and always displaying something in front of the eyes of the user, that's annoying after a while. Yeah, what about you, Guillaume? What's your
Yeah,
take?
well, I'm a bit surprised for Lark Optics, especially because Epson already tried the enter pupillar experience with projecting directly into the eye. It was in 2015, if I remember correctly, and they abandoned the project like in less than 1 year because they found out it was one, very invasive, and two, because of the eye mobility, it was very hard to project always inside the eye. So, but on the security or safety part, I'm less concerned about this one than the contact lenses. Because when you are going to the optometrist, they are basically projecting lights into your eyes. It's quite, it's not very comfortable, but I don't think this is a danger, an hazard for your eyes. And for the contact lenses, on the contrary, the main issue on my part is the power supply. They are using electromagnetic fields to yeah, to give them power to display something. And at this point, I always also, if I remember correctly, the in terms of magnetic fields, it's very high for just displaying it's just numbers or very simple images. So I can't imagine the kind of power you would need to surround the user for them to have complicated displays in their eyes. And I don't want to have my eyes cooked, so I won't be trying this before a long time. So what's your final words about this? What are your thoughts about this, Fabian?
Yeah, I I totally agree with both of you. Actually, I think these are like it's like it could be nice if the safety and privacy and all of these like checklists will be checked. But I think we are very far from having something that is usable and even more for the general public. I think we are very, very far from that. So, yeah.
I guess that the best way of doing this kind of stuff without glasses would be to interact directly with the optic nerves. It would be the less painful or complicated complicated things to do. But yeah, we are very, very far from that.
I don't know if Neuralink is looking at this kind of stuff as
Yeah.
well. I don't know. Maybe.
That's another direction. And so in the meantime, the 5-10 years that comes, what is your thought about the technology that will come first? I think HoloLens tried the holographic display with a transparent screen, but only projecting also in the eyes kind of the content. And now we see with the new Qualcomm, most of the players are going through a see-through display where you have a screen and a camera that film the scene. Which one do you think may take the lead or come back in the later years? Did you see something about that?
And no, I think the current technologies still have quite a few years in front of them. Yeah.
But
So
I think the main milestone for AR will be maybe in June when Apple will show their infamous AR glasses. We'll see what the kind of direction they are taking, and I guess if it's a success, it will give the road for every AR headset that will be released in the future year.
mm-hmm. Yeah, right now for me, I have the Quest Pro at home, and I did a lot of tests on see-through and using the this technology, but the screen is and the camera that are filming the scene and the way they process the video with two black and white camera, mixes them in 3D and then projecting the color of the video camera to it, make that very blurry, and that really decrease the experience. Then when you had 3D object that like complete like two worlds that doesn't match each other, I guess you have to decrease the quality of your 3D media to make it more real. So compared to what you can do with an HoloLens, having the complete view of your environment and maybe cheaper 3D object, I think for me that works better.
Yeah, well, one hint I can give you about the Apple headsets is that they bought the company VR Vena, which was a Montreal company, and I had the chance to try their headset in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a video see-through headset, and it was really the performances were really exciting at the time. So I guess they found out how to make it work. I guess like their used to be competitor Vajo, and
Okay.
with the power of Apple, I guess they are very close to finding something that can work. And by all the company that Apple bought, I get they are taking this track of video see-through headsets, and maybe I don't know, the VR Vena headsets had the possibility to switch from AR to VR in an instant, and it was their main um, uh, advantage at the time. So we'll see, but I guess they are taking this road, and I discussed with Bertrand Abveux, who is the 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 last CEO of VR Reina, and he's not giving so many details, but he's he's taking a lot about his headsets back in the day, and he says that Apple took it seriously. So
Great.
we'll see, but I guess they are taking the videos this through road.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah.
guess.
I thought that through. Yeah, also yes, but I was wondering what will be the differences between what we see right now and the headset, and I think you answered me that it's
They have the Apple power. So,
great.
so it's your turn.
So on my side, I wanted to continue maybe the discussion we had last week about Meta having sold a lot of headsets, but not having a lot of user returning and trying new application or buying new application. And right after, I think the next day, they announced moving on to more generative AI development and cutting job on the Metaverse side. So I think, yeah, I don't know. Maybe let me know what you think about that, and then I will discuss about it.
Très bien.
I have a lot to say about this, so I'll try to be brief. I think there are a lot of forces at play, if we can say that. So the AI is absolutely exploding right now with all the GPT, ChatGPT, GPT-4 today, and so on. So all the players. So Google reacted yesterday actually as well with they announced their own generative AI, and so Meta they have changed their name a few years back to focus on VR and the metaverse. So now they are kind of I think in a difficult position, seeing all the other players moving super fast on AI, but on their side being kind of having to deliver something for the metaverse. So I'm sure they have still the engineering power to compete with. I'm sure they are exploring AI as well, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
So on my part, I'm on the meta subject. There are, I guess, two things. The first one is that the market right now is very emotional. It's driven by emotion, to put it simply. Um, it's not always the best to follow emotion when you are doing R&D, especially. You're just becoming a follower instead of a leader in some texts, and it was a bold move by Meta to invest so much in the metaverse or in VR in general, as for a lot of people it was not as advanced as it was said. Um, they were right on the VR hardware part, as we discussed last week, because I guess hardware is ready for main adoption. But on the metaverse part, I guess they were wrong, because we can see that it's a long-term uh, project, and they thought that in less than 5 years, everybody would be willing to share a virtual world and experience VR as they experienced Facebook back in the day. So this is what their mistakes per se, and but their main issue remains the same. That this is my second point, but they really need to renovate, to reinvent them, because Facebook is losing uh, a lot of partners for their advertisement. So and the population is on the wrong side of, of age, because all the youngsters are not using Facebook anymore. So they need to find something to bring back their audience, and they thought that Metaverse would bring the younger one more quickly, but it's not the case. So right now they just flip their coin to become followers and take the AI bus. But I don't think they will completely abandon the metaverse like Microsoft. Microsoft also makes this kind of flip with refocusing on Microsoft Mesh, which is some kind of Teams 2.0, 3.0 with VR and some avatar oriented stuff. Maybe Microsoft is on a better track to the metaverse than Meta is, because they are making a step by step, following the technology, the actual technology, and I guess they will lose less money in R&D by doing so. Um, we'll see, but yeah, Meta is not in a good place right now. Sab, if you want to conclude
Yeah,
what we said.
I think what you said is interesting. Yeah, I think they made the mistake of switching maybe too soon to the metaverse and throwing all that money to there. And
It's all about timing.
yeah, and they forgot also that it's great to provide a way for users to create world and interact with each other. But first, you need the interaction. You need to see the user face and how they react to your emotion and stuff like that, to make that more interactive and bring more life to the environment. And then it costs a lot to make a 3D environment that look realistic or nice, with interaction and stuff that are interesting to do. And I think AI can solve this kind of issue and make that faster and easier for a new user to come in, and just by text and explanation of what they want, have something directly made by an AI to inside the experience. So being two together, you can directly describe the world you want to create, and then it makes something more interesting to do and more more quick, more dynamic, something that you can share with others. I think that's something a lot missing when you see the app that are coming. They take like 2 years to be developed. At least the ones that are nice. And most of the Metaverse application that Meta shared were ugly. Completely ugly with use case and stuff that are maybe not working. From all the video I saw, yeah, the experiences were really bad.
Yeah, for us it's a 10-year VR.
Yeah.
That's what we did in the beginning of
Mm.
of our jobs, respective jobs.
But that's what you get when you have a first application done by someone new. So that's exactly what they did. They provided a simple tool to create an application, but there is no way to do complex interaction, or not directly, or it's very complex to implement. So yeah, I think
So,
that's
so
what they are
you
trying
think
to solve with
you
that.
think they reinvented the wheel or lost quite some year because of not trusting the good, or is it the old timer of VR? Do you think?
No, I think they did the first step, but they forgot that to bring something interesting to the user, they need content. Coming with a small library of media, everyone is doing the same kind of 3D environment. It's not, uh, there is no differentiation between the different environments. Um, yeah.
Well, I guess the thing they are lacking is the community.
Yeah.
Simply because you can see VR chat is doing well, and
Mm.
they are creating environments, and people are
Yeah.
going to these.
Mm.
While on the Horizon part, they are making environment, but nobody are going there.
Mm.
It's so just like this passion or community that can bring content and something interesting to the table.
Mm.
So you had a second subject, and I guess your transition is perfect as you are.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's the new NVIDIA NORF training, neural graphics, instant neural graphics. Someone posted that having done a small video inside the street in London. They did a shot and managed to get it as a VR experience where you can walk in the street. So I guess it's still early. When it moves forward, you can see that everything is like particles in space and not perfectly positioned. But that starts to be impressive to generate that in a couple of minutes, or without having the pain of having a 3D modeler doing everything for 5 or 10 days. Uh, yeah, for me, it's a new step in the generation of a 3D environment quickly and nicer and really realistic. What's your thought about that?
Yeah, it's a really exciting technology. What I'm a big movie fan, so what I'm really looking forward is because this I think was recorded with only one camera. So what I'm really looking forward is to see a movie where I can choose my viewpoint in the movie. Um, like I can move around and maybe, of course, pause, look around and maybe see a scene from different viewpoints. Um, so that's the movie fan who's talking. But of course, bringing that to VR is also like a very impressive way to build an environment. So yeah, it's a really exciting technology.
Well,
What was
for me, I'm a very big fan of 3D scans and all these attached technologies. And the main issue I'm seeing there is that if everybody is beginning to scan their surroundings, we'll have a very huge problem of data management and data storage. Because I work with the University of Malta, and they are doing a full scan of the island of Malta by using different technologies from cell phones to lidar to drones and stuff. So they succeeded in getting the whole point cloud of the island, but at this stage they really don't know what to do with this, because they have terabytes and terabytes of data, and they can't visualize it properly. So if we want to try to use this technology, which I guess is becoming more and more easy to use, and it has a very good results, we have some very big problem using storing and using this data. And I guess this is the main issue for lots of different innovative technology, because right now we don't have the power of the storage capacity to manage that. And if we want to go on the ecological side, it's not a good thing for our planet to have like 1,000 more data server around the world. So we'll have to find a way to make this happen if you want it to happen.
Yeah, very interesting point.
And to make a transition to my part, yeah, I'm sure that as you said on your previous topics, is that asset generation and 3D generation is the main issue right now to make a beautiful metaverse, because we don't have the 3D artists willing to work that many time to create something. And the best way to get to something beautiful in 3D would be to use either 3D scans or generative AI. Uh, uh, so if you give me the permission, I will just add my own topic, and we will discuss the all the topics at once. So
Okay.
on my part, it's not about 3D scanning; it's about 3D generation, environment generation. So it's a GPT-like use. Just let me start the video. It's a company that the video is like 2 or 3 months old. I'm sorry for the not that newest. This is not the newest news. But well, their main use case is that you are typing what you want to see as an environment by just describing what you want to see, and their application is generating the environment for you. So it, it's very convenient for developers like us. I'm not a very good 3D artist, and it was always a pain to create a simple or more complex environment. Just I always had to find someone to help me with it, and this kind of tool would be very useful. Uh, and for people that are saying that 3D artists, the job of 3D artist is dead, I think it will be evolving in the next few years, because they still have their creative mind. If you put this kind of tools in the hand of like anybody, they will play with it, but to create something that makes sense, it requires this creative mind that are an expertise for 3D artists. So what do you think about it, Fabien?
Yeah, I think it's a really indeed, as you said, I agree, and even for us, for developers, this is where the type of work is evolving as well, I think. So it's indeed a really exciting way to create a virtual world. And now with the for example GPT-4 which was released yesterday, it's even easier to. It will be even easier to, for example, instance an avatar that will have its own behavior that you can also describe with text. So not only coding the environment, but also coding the interactions and how the virtual world is behaving. So yeah, and also like on the topic that you mentioned about the impact on our planet. Well, AI is also a big use of power. So, but anyway, yeah, very excited about this technology. What about you, Seb?
Yeah, it's impressive how fast it's evolving and going all direction. And this one, yeah, we noted it a couple of months ago. What is really exciting also is for me is that most of the time when we try to do a game like that, we either buy assets that are made for games, or if we have specific requests for our client, we have to ask a graphist that is specialized for games to make the model. And sometimes the client say, no, we have everything, and they ask for their own graphist to do something, but they are doing films and so or movies, and therefore the kind of models that are used to work with are not compatible with what we do. And with this kind of technology, that brings also I hope that's but from what I've seen in the video, that brings model and assets that are already compatible and generated, maybe even made to use the same texture, etc., to make the model runs the games run faster without having the pain to set up everything. So yeah, that's a huge amount of time that we can win on that part. And like Fabien said, if we can have interaction, that starts to be really a powerful tool to create content. And as you said, then we need creative minds to be able to challenge that kind of AI and make creative content on top of that. And to have the knowledge on how to write down for the specific tool that will be used, because for each tool there is like specific wording and specific key messages that you have to learn. Like it's a new language that you have to learn to make that nice. You can have quickly something, but if you want to dig in and have a creative content that match all the other content, and you really have to specialize yourself and learn how to write stuff, so your result is exactly what you want.
Yeah, we can
English
already.
is sorry. The English is becoming a programming language.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I was just saying that we can already see that, like with Midjourney, for example, we can see that when an artist is giving the order, or it's a simple simple people that are simple, well, normal people, sorry, giving the order, they are just specifying the type of lenses and the light and the kind of style they want, and I guess they can easy they can, yeah, achieve something very awesome faster than anybody in the world. So that's what they would be paid for, to bring this all technical terms to the prompt to make the best idea. But yeah, I think that maybe the well, the more executive part of the job, which may not be the best, the most interesting part of the job, will maybe disappear, and it's for the best, I guess, for the artist, because they can focus on what is fun for them. uh, it's the same for developers and just driving to this alley as well as Fabien brought the subject, but for very repetitive, simple code, I guess that AI would be perfect for that. And it's not a bad, it's not bad news for us because it's really not an enjoyable part of our job to just make technical code. It's better when you're doing something creative or innovative, and maybe some developers that are liking this kind of uh, structure, very automatic kind of code will have to maybe find another way to work. But I don't think this is as uh, horrific as we are seeing right now when everybody is panicking by things that developers, artists, writers, and even teachers will disappear in a very short-term future. And I guess that as always, innovation is bringing change, but an it's not a bad thing for people. We just have to adapt, and we are very good at adapting. So we'll find a new way to make all these people work in a different way.
Miles, I
Yeah,
still bridges to build between the different AI tools also.
yeah, I'm a bit less optimistic because indeed, every time that there was a new technology like the television or well the radio before and so on, there was like changes in the society. But I think for with AI, the speed of it is so fast that I'm a bit more worried than you, I would say, on the impact that it will have and how fast we will have to adapt.
Mm.
So yeah, but I think that it's also like more on a personal and up for debate, I guess. Yeah. Mm.
Well, the main issue with AI is the ethical part, which is, as you were saying, brought to the table very fast because people are finding that AI can have some issue with this. Uh, one article I read about AI and I found very interesting is that the maybe the danger of using AI too much is by limiting our power to reflect, by saying that AI is always right, and then you can just stop thinking by yourself and say, yeah, I said it, so it's true. And the danger of it is that we we shouldn't forget that AI is based on learning, and we can make it learn what we want it to learn. It's not uh, a global knowledge. If you want your AI to think in a specific way, you just have to give it specific content to learn, and it will be giving you back, it back, so it can be uh, either just everybody will think the same way, or AI will make you think a way that can be given to you. So yeah, this is more the ethical part that is frightening right now. But on the technical one, I'm more on the, as I said, the emotional uh, part we are right now. On the appropriation curve, we are on the peak
Yeah.
right now, and everybody is crazy about it and talking about it. You can't go to a meeting without someone bringing ChatGPT on the table. So I guess we are on the emotion part right now, and we just have to calm down when people will. They all people are. Everybody is now playing with ChatGPT. They are finding that very funny or interesting or whatever, and maybe in a few months they'll lost interest in it, and we can have this more stable or calm way to approach things.
Yeah.
Deb?
I think
I think the peak is still not at the highest top. I think it will go higher. It's moving so fast, and we see bridges with different technologies and new demo everywhere. And there's still a lot that can be done, I think. So I think we are not at the peak yet. There's still some stuff to with ChatGPT 4 and then the new AI system that are coming. Yeah. I
So,
think that will
do you
be
think we can reach the peak? That's the question. Or every month we will have something new that can bring the peak higher
that's a good
in
question.
expectation.
We'll see if there
that's
is
possible. Yeah. That we have a singularity, like, pew!
Exponential peak.
Yeah.
and then the president is AI and yeah, the world leader.
Yeah, so some journalists talked about this in Canada. They said that, well, we can cut the parliament in half because half of them are not doing so well, so we can replace them with AI. It will be the same. So it was a joke on the joke side, but yeah. What I saw another thing is that they made a completely generated discussion with the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, and Joe Rogan, which is not not the kind of interview he would be doing, but the whole thing was generating with their voice and their state of mind, and it made complete sense. If you were listening to this audio, it was completely naturally. Nothing in this would make you think that it was fake, and that's the danger as well.
Yeah,
We
that's
can see the
yeah.
ethical one. We
Mm.
can make a Joe Biden fake conference bringing something terrible on the, and people would believe that. It's a very dangerous way of using AI.
Yeah, the deep fake. It's
Yeah,
great.
the deep fake that are become very very real.
Mm.
We
That's
but I guess this is our mistake as well, because we saw that coming in the last 10 years. We saw that AI was becoming more and more efficient, and people just let that go without thinking that, well, it can be very very fast at some point.
Yeah, there are alignment, like AI alignment companies that and research laboratories that are working on this, but they are underfunded compared to like the billions and billions that OpenAI and the other have. So yeah, it's well, we could, I think we could talk about that for a very
Yeah.
long time.
Sure.
It's yeah, it's getting down to like unhealthy competition, and if they do this, then the other have to do it, and then yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll end this stream and continue this conversation next week. So
Yeah.
thank you all for your great topics and your discussion, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Next week. Bye.
Bye.